Media Group. Get ready for a WFCN Game of the Week. Powered by our incredible sponsors. Watermark Auto Group. John A. Logan College. Black Diamond Harley Davidson. Moreland Bishop McDonald's. Deaconess Illinois Medical Center. Chick-fil-A, coming soon to Marion. Anderson's Furniture and Mattress. The Illinois Army National Guard. Legence Bank. Kemper's CPA Group. The City of Heron. The City of Cesar. Banterra Bank. Fellowship of Christian Athletes. The Bank of Heron. State Farm Kenya Garner. SIU Credit Union. Southern Trust Bank. The Print Shop at Pieces of Learning. First Southern Bank. Anderson Boys Trash Service. State Bank of Whittington. Urology Institute.
Hello and welcome to the WFCN Game of the Week, football playoff week 2. We are in Johnston City, home of the Indians, as they take on Warrensburg here at home. Kickoff is set for around 5 o'clock, so we still got about 18 minutes left to go until the start of playoff football here in Johnston City. But otherwise, it's a very good, lively atmosphere as always here in Johnston City, and we are certainly in for some good football tonight. I'm Aaron Smith, joined alongside Garrett Smith, who will be doing play-by-play as always here for us tonight, as well as Drew Smith, who will be on the sidelines, and special guest Quincy King tonight, also on the sidelines helping us out. Garrett, we've already had some playoff football going on throughout the afternoon today. We've already got 2 finals from local games, one of those being the Nashville Hornets, who are moving on to the IHSA quarterfinals.
And I'll say this, Aaron, they won 41-21 over Greenville. A lot of openings happening there in the 3A.
Mm-hmm.
Top seeded on the south part of the bracket, St. Joe Ogden got knocked out.
Mm-hmm.
The 1 seed in the top half of the bracket got knocked out. So Nashville, a real legitimate shot to make a deep run with a couple of the teams that were seeded higher than them getting knocked off today.
Yeah, absolutely. And another game we do have a Final Four was the Cesar-Valier Red Devils. Unfortunately, their playoff run will end after a loss to Hardin Calhoun today, 14-6. They were at Hardin. So Cesar-Valier Red Devils, their season coming to an end in week 2 of the IHSA playoffs. But from a couple of people I knew that were there today, said it was a defensive battle in the very start of that game, scoreless through a lot of the game. And Cesar-Valier was making a little bit of a comeback, but it just wasn't quite enough in the fourth quarter.
Typically, Cesar-Valier games are that way. They're defensive battles, and going on the road and hanging in there, and coming up short, but playing a really good team, and losing a couple down the stretch in the regular season hurt Cesar in their seed, and they probably faced Hardin a little earlier than they would have liked to in the playoffs. Right. So, but another great year over there at Cesar-Valier.
Yeah. Another game we have going on right now, well, actually two other games. The Benton Rangers now in action against the Sullivan Redskins at home. It's now 14-0 Benton in the second quarter of play against Sullivan. That's definitely a good game over there. I'm sure the Benton fans getting riled up on at least to start the game on a positive note. Also, elsewhere in Southern Illinois, over in Murfreesboro, the Red Devils are playing the Breeze Central Cougars. Currently, Breeze Central has a 20-0 lead over the Murfreesboro Red Devils in the fourth quarter of play. Garrett, I think we're obviously going to have our eyes on that Murfreesboro and Benton game throughout most of the game here in Johnson City as well.
Yeah, and you got another one that's a little out there, but Chester's still playing football too here in the postseason, and they get going a little bit later, or they're actually I think going right now, but as they're playing Monroe at Forsyth. But yeah, Benton's looking good again, right? You said they're up, so
Right. 14.
they're looking good. Murphy's playing as tough as an opponent as you can get in playing Breeze Central, a very very good team. So, but it's in Murphy, and you're keeping it close. And if you're at home, you like to keep the score close. If you can do that, you have a shot at the end of the game. So let's see if they can get on the board and have the potential to stick around and maybe score one late and try to steal a victory from Breeze.
Right. And as always, we want to remind you that this is the IHSA postseason, so things will be a little bit different for what you see on the screen here tonight. For the pregame, we'll be able to have some video and pump up stuff, as well as at halftime, we'll have some recap on some of the biggest plays of the game. But due to the IHSA broadcast restrictions and NFHS, it'll be audio only during the actual game. So you'll still be able to hear us, just not see anything during the game, but we will be able to bring you some instant replays still tonight, as well as some replays and recap during halftime, which will also, of course, be recapping some of those local games as well. With that being said, we'll take a quick break as looks like we're going to get ready for the national anthem here in Johnson City. We'll be right back. This is the WFCN Game of the Week here on WFCN News.
We want to help students when they come right out of high school, but we're also here for the adults. After high school, I went to my local community college, and after my first semester, realized that I wasn't quite ready to go to college. And I went back to work in construction for roughly about 15 years. And at the same time, I took classes at community college. It's this idea that you can go back to school at any time for anything, and that's what a community college does for you. That's what John A. Logan does for you.
Philosophy of Legence Bank is sit down with the customer, listen to their needs, and figure it out and figure a solution for them. We want to build relationships with our customers. We just don't want to do a transaction and it stops there.
Community banking is relationships. Legence Bank is relationships. There's so many customers that they are not a number, they are a customer, they are a relationship that's not only financial but personal.
Legence loves local.
Want to know one of the best ways to show your Saluki pride? I'm Luke Martin, voice of the SIU Salukis and proud owner of a Banterra Saluki Visa debit card. Being able to use a Saluki branded debit card with no fees at more than 55,000 ATMs and special Saluki offers is a perk. Knowing that my transactions go towards supporting SIU is a win. Plus, Banterra is the bank that you want as a partner. Stop by a Banterra branch for details. Banterra is a proud supporter of regional athletics. Member FDIC.
All right, welcome back to the WFCN Game of the Week here as Johnson City takes on Warrensburg here at home. Once again, I'm Aaron Price, joined alongside Garrett Smith here in the pregame. This is the Moreland Bishop McDonald's pregame show from the Indians Athletic Complex. Garrett, both of these teams have had pretty good seasons. The Johnson City Indians are, aside from that one loss, are undefeated in the season. And talk a little bit about Warrensburg as well. They're 8-2 on the season.
8-2, 6-2 in the conference, and their 2 losses are to a couple of really good football teams, losing 24-21 to Gibson City, and then a loss to Leroy 41-7. And let's see, Leroy's already won their game in the postseason. Gibson City's won their game. So, Aaron, the 2 teams that has beaten Warrensburg, they are both still in the postseason. They've won ball games.
Wow.
So Warrensburg has not got a bad loss. Like Johnson City, their one loss to Dixon, another team that's still playing postseason football. But,
Right.
a couple of the games at Warrensburg, they like to score some points, and they like to throw the football. Last week coming off the win against Johnson City rival Carmi, 35-30. I will say this team could score. They got a lot of options offensively. But they've yet to beat a team of this caliber. The 2 they faced, they lost to. They were good ball games. So if Warrensburg comes out, plays clean, and looks good, they'll be right there in the mix to win this one on the road.
Yeah. Talk about some of the players that we're watching. I know we've covered the Indians a couple times so far this season, but this is the first time we're seeing them here in the postseason. So go ahead and recap for some of our viewers the players that we always like to watch for the Indians as well as for Warrensburg tonight.
All right, so for Johnson City, I'm going to look at a couple of guys in the backfield. Pretty easy. Nolan Causey and Jace Weaver. Those guys really impressed me when we watched them over in Sesser. I mean, those guys were dual threats from the backfield for Johnson City, and you run through them and the balanced attack that they have in the backfield between the 2 running backs for Johnson City. I mean, they really are a threat, and they keep the defense on their toes. They keep them honest. And then on the other side, there's plenty of guys, but let's look at the quarterback play tonight. They're playing. This is a team that likes to throw the ball a little bit. They got a quarterback that's throwing for some touchdowns. That's Braden Hickey. He'll be the starting quarterback, and if he has a good game, Warrensburg will have a very good shot to win.
Yeah, in for a good game tonight here in Johnston City, and I think the Indians' playoff atmosphere, really, at least in my opinion, is something that a lot of schools around Southern Illinois really can't rival. Johnson City Indians fans really get into the playoffs, and anytime they're at home, man, it's going to be a battle.
Well, you get good at something when you do it a lot, right? And they've really had a lot of postseason success in recent years, and man, they just keep on winning, and here we are, and they're on a home field, and I think
number 1 seed.
if they win. If they win this game with Pano winning earlier against Vandalia, they're back home again next week. So, man, how nice would that be if you can just play at home until they take you up to the state final? I mean, that'd be pretty nice.
That would be awesome. Yeah, absolutely. Once again, keeping our eyes on some other games going on right now. We're going to have score updates on those throughout the night. As of the latest update, it's still 14-0 Benton over in Franklin County.
Not a true 10 seed, man. That hurts some teams having to play them.
No.
I mean, they've been really good. So
now 27-0 breeze over Murfreesboro in the 4th quarter.
Running into a freight train in Breeze Central. I don't know if you got anything out of Chester either, but I know we're
I'll have to check.
Keeping an eye on that because there's a chance where maybe they could end up playing Johnson City in a few weeks if that ended up happening. How cool would that be? A couple of teams downstate with a chance to move on. But it starts right now, and you got to win this one before you can worry about the next one. But you're at home, take care of business, right? And we can get into some keys to the game.
Yeah.
As brought to you by Watermark and Auto Group. And I'm going to be honest. I think that we're going to see a couple of contrasting play styles today. But I think the goal can be the same, and it's just run the score up. And make it a track meet. Try to score points. Put the pressure on the other team. You'll be in the game if you're scoring a lot of points. I think these teams expect to. They both score points a lot. So the defense will probably that plays a better game, forces more turnovers, will probably win. So I think it's important to come out early. If you can score real quick, and we know Johnson City can do that. We've not been able to see Warrensburg, but I'm sure they can. Man, you just always feel so much better if you in the blink of an eye can score a touchdown. You're already pinning a team behind and having to play catch up real early.
Right. And I hear some motorcycles, and when it comes to Johnson City, that means it's just about time for the team to run out. So With that being said, we got a little over 6 minutes left to go here. We are live from Johnston City for playoff football action here, and we'll be right back here in just a couple minutes. Stay tuned. You're listening to the WFCN News Game of the Week. So the Johnson City Indians and Warrensburg making their way to the field here on the Moreland Bishop McDonald's pregame show, taking on Warrensburg once again here at home in week 2 of IHSA football playoffs. This is the second round game between Warrensburg and Johnston City. I want to thank you for joining us, and another quick reminder as we're just about 4 minutes from kickoff. This will be an audio-only broadcast because it is the IHSA playoffs. We will still have some replays, instant replays, and everything for you, but
Hey, so more pressure on our camera guy down there
more
today.
pressure on our camera guy. That's exactly right. I think he heard me. He looked right up here when I said that. All right. But yeah, Garrett, I mean, this is a man. Like I said, the playoff atmosphere in Johnson City really. I mean, there's a lot of great schools around that can make playoff runs, but every time you come to a Johnson City Indians playoff football game, you know what to expect, and that is energy.
It's probably been Southern Illinois' most consistent team here as of late, and that's a huge credit to Coach Todd Thomas and what they've put out on the field year in, year out, week in, week out. You know, we weren't sure on how good they'd be. They had a really good season last year, surpassed it this year by winning the Black Diamond, and then going getting a 1 seed. And this is a team that can go to the state championship. It absolutely is, and we'll see how things unfold. A long way before we get there, but I think either of these teams could. I mean, if Warrensburg finds a way to win today, they're another team that's in the driver's seat.
Right.
If you can knock off number 1, then it's like you can probably play with just about anybody. So a really nice opportunity to win for both teams here tonight and to just keep their season going. And so I think the winner of this has, a very, very good shot to keep on trucking even through next week.
Yeah. So Johnson City Indians starting lineup being introduced here on the field. And we're just about underway here for playoff football in week 2 of the IHSA playoffs. Still waiting for word from Murfreesboro on if that's the final yet, but they're in the fourth quarter. Still 27-0 Breeze Central. Still 14-0 in the second quarter, Benton at our last check.
Yeah, and you know, we haven't been here since what, week 0?
Yeah.
It's good to get back over here. This is a nice facility. You know, it's one of the better ones, and yeah, we'll see. We'll see how things go, but it's good to see the Rangers winning. It's good to see Nashville already with a win. You know, Murphy's up against it. Sesser had a hard-fought loss, so let's see if we can get a third team in with Johnston City and get another team here and Benton and then also you know, Chester out there. And I don't know if you got a score from there, but
Still working on it. Yeah.
Really good season for Southern Illinois football. A lot of teams making the postseason, and a good chunk of them advancing into week 2, and already a couple going to week 3. So yeah, and we can, because we got a couple minutes. Nashville. Oh, we talked about them. Man, they are in a great spot. Awesome spot. And, you know, they get to play a tough team because they knocked off number 1. But man, you know, being the higher seed again. If you're the higher seed and you're in round 3, then man, you're doing something right. And that's the boat that Nashville will be in. It's the boat Johnson City would be in if they win. And Benton's just kind of saying, to heck with the seeds. We're just going to go play some football. And they've looked good in their game and a half that they've had here in the postseason.
Quick update, Garrett, we just got from Benton. It's now 21-0. Benton Rangers.
I hyped them up, and man, they backed me up. So I think earlier I was talking about Murphy keeping it close, and then you immediately had a change there. So I'm glad to see one went in my favor after talking good about a team. But
yeah,
I didn't try jinxing Murphy, so I'm sorry about that. But so the Rangers keep on rolling. Nick Cullum's going to kick off for Johnston City. Warrensburg to return.
One thing we also have tonight, since it's audio only, is we do have a timer, so we'll be able to keep track a little bit better on that.
Low ground ball kick is picked up, taken out to the 40 by the return man. That was Pratt for Warrensburg. And I think right around, or he got crossed the 40, so he'll be at their own 41 to start things 6 seconds in. We said it, Warrensburg's got a lethal offense. They can score, and they've got a guy that can throw it, but they also got guys that can run the ball, and they got good receivers. 1 out to the left, 3 to the right, man in the backfield. In the shotgun is the quarterback, Hickey. He gets the snap, and he'll hand off to his back. That's Brennan Bonds, the leading rusher, and he's across the 45 and down for a gain to the 47 is where they give it. 2nd and 4, so a good pickup there for Bonds. Makes it 2nd and short. Hickey in the backfield, a back behind him and a back to the left. He's got 2 outright, 1 to the left in the receiving unit. Snap, and they'll go back to another running back out of the backfield, breaking through for a first down across midfield and across the 45 and down just shy of the 40. A big first Southern Bank first down. That's Lorenzo Wright Jr. on the carry.
So Warrensburg will have the ball past midfield now, nearly to the 40-yard line. That's where they'll take over with about 10:58 left to go here.
I've already talked about it. They've already used 2 different guys out of the backfield in Bonds and in Wright. So expect them to keep changing things up, you know, in a similar fashion that Johnson City does. 3 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. In the shotgun is Hickey. Man in the backfield with him. Hand off to the right. Running off to the right. And picking up some, falling forward across the 40 down to the 38. That was Bonds again on the carry. So pick up a 3. Lightson brought him down. 10 to go. Quarter 1. 2nd and 7 from the 38 for Warrensburg. 8-seeded Cardinals come in at 8-2 and 6-2 in the heart of Central Illinois Conference. Dropping back, quarterback throws out to the left. That's right. Has to turn it back right, trying for some space, and man, did he make something out of nothing. That's Lorenzo Wright. He caught it well behind the line of scrimmage and had some tacklers pursuing him pretty quickly, but he's going to be out close to the yard to gain along the left sideline. And I think they're looking for a measurement to see if he got it. Looks awful close. And they're doing an official measurement with the sticks, and it looks like he's going to be a little short. So 3rd and a hair coming up for Warrensburg. And now they're bringing the sticks out there to measure it yet again. Wanting to make sure they get this right.
A game of inches, they say.
Wanting to make sure.
Yeah.
They've confirmed that it's 3rd down and short. We'll see if Warrensburg just keeps it on the ground and looks to pick it up on the ground. But it's been a good offensive attack early on. Johnston City looking for a big blow up in the backfield to force a 4th down. A couple of receivers to the right, one to the left, 2 in the backfield with the quarterback, Hickey. And they'll go to right. Works off the left edge. He's across the 40, a 1st down easily, or across the 30 rather, and he'll easily have the 1st down. It's the first Southern Bank 1st down for Warrensburg. Set up shop at the 28. 9:10 to go, quarter 1. Hickey, the back to his right, 1 behind him, 2 out to the right, 1 to the left. They'll hand off to a back. And wrapped up after a couple of yards, working off the right side, was Wright. So maybe 1 yard. Yeah, they'll give him 1. At the 27 of Johnston City. So Warrensburg moving down the field. Cardinals to the line. Hickey in the shotgun. Couple motion men. And Hickey's going to keep. We got flags flying from all over the place. He's brought down behind the line. And if that's against the offense, it might be interesting to see if they just decline it. Might have been a legal motion. We had a lot of guys moving. They might decline that. It'll be 3rd and 11 or 12. We'll see. They will decline it. And that'll back him up as Hickey, the quarterback, kept it, and he lost a couple of yards. So 3rd down and 11 from the 29. Big play here. Warrensburg's not had any pressure. Only had the 1 3rd down, and it was 3rd and very short. So 3rd and long. Dropping back, Hickey. Looking left. In the pocket. Has a man, and it's wrapped up and caught inside the 15-yard line.
It'll be a First Southern Bank 1st down for Warrensburg, and it's a big 1st down as that will put them on the 13-yard line now.
As Hickey connecting with Joey Dominic that time. Way to go up and catch the football. He had to leap up in the air to haul that one in and survive the contact from the defender. 1st down and 10 at the 13 of Johnston City. And credit to the line. Hickey had a lot of time there in the pocket. Motion man to the left. Hickey fumbled it in the backfield. He's just trying to make something here, and he's going to be wrapped up. He stays on his feet and gets back to the 15. He was going to go down for a loss of about 6 or 7. He's able to get a couple yards back by staying on his feet. 2nd and 12 from the 15. Yeah, really nice. Really nice play. And like I said, the line helped out Hickey a lot, giving him plenty of time. And you could see him surveying all his options, looking left, looking right, looking up the middle of the field, and finally hitting his guy. 2nd and 12, 6:30 to go, quarter one. Hickey drops back. Quick dump out to the left. Trying to cut back is the receiver, and nothing there. Dropped shy of the 15. Might have been another loss on the play. As that was Cottrell Lee. And he was just trying to dance for some extra yardage and couldn't do anything. So a 3rd and long for Warrensburg. Say 3rd and 14 officially. Sub 6 minutes, quarter one. Hickey in the shotgun. Back with him. 2 receivers left, 2 receivers right. Dropping back. Hickey looking to the left, firing, and it's well underthrown. Yeah. It's a good thing it was underthrown for Warrensburg, or else that would have been picked off.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
The 4th and 14.
Almost went in the hands of the Indian there. 5:38 left to go.
We'll see how Warrensburg handles 4th down. You know, in IHSA in high school, a lot of teams handle things different. A lot of teams go for things. Some of them have kickers. Some of them like to play conservative. This might be a go situation, even though it's 4th and long. But you don't get it. You're pinning Johnson City back.
Yeah.
5:38 to go, quarter one. 4th and 14 at the Johnson City 17-yard line for Warrensburg. Hickey with 3 to the right, 1 to the left. Dropping back. They need 14 yards. He's looking right. Rolling left. No one yet. He's looking to run with it. He's going to keep it. Or is he staying behind the line? He just goes out of bounds with the football. It'll be a turnover on downs.
Man, that's what you risk when you go for the 4th down. And just like that, the Johnson City Indians will take over with 5:27 left to go. And, yeah, he had nowhere to go.
But throw it. Get rid of it.
Yeah.
Do something.
He just threw it right straight to the ground.
Give a receiver a shot.
Right.
You know, he's thrown one ball good earlier and had his receiver go way up to catch it. So, man, at least, you know, nothing stupid, but, man, you got to give your receivers a shot at least, and instead of just running out of bounds and saying, here you go, Johnson City, now it's your football.
Right. So it'll be the Indians' first possession of the game. We'll see what they can do with it here. Here's the snap.
And it's a good gain up the gut. They were under center. The back that time was Jace Weaver. They love lining up under center to the Indians. And a good gain of 8 yards.
Just 2 yards to go for the Indians out on the 25-yard line. Clock just about to tick under 5 minutes here in the first quarter.
Caden Koenig is the quarterback, and he's the guy that helps really set up a lot of those different options and read plays and those different handoffs and all different formations. Motion man, and they go to the back, up the gut, and wrapped around and thrown down was Evan Sanders. That's another one of the backs that we didn't mention that had a great game against Cesar Valier when we were over there. So Sanders picks up a First Southern Bank first down as he crosses the 30 and gets to the 33. .4:30 to go, quarter one. Right up under center is Koenig. Looks like they go back to Weaver, and he's wrapped up after a gain of maybe 2 on the play. That's where he's dropped at the 35. Johnson City at their own 35-yard line, 4 minutes to go after a very good, productive first drive for Warrensburg that stalled once they got into Johnson City territory at the 15-yard line on a turnover on downs. And credit Johnston City's defense. It looked like Warrensburg was going to march right down the field and get an easy early lead, but Johnston City forced a couple of plays for losses, and that did Warrensburg in. This ball is on the turf. It's dropped, and just picking it up is Sanders in the backfield, and he'll lose some yardage. So it's going to be 3rd and long for Johnston City, where they have this marked back behind the original line. It's going to be 3rd and 11 from the 32. It's starting to rain here in Johnston City.
Rain expected tonight, and hopefully it doesn't get too heavy. Shouldn't be, but they're all getting their ponchos out now. Just about 3 minutes left to go here in the first quarter. Ball's on the 32-yard line.
Koenig, he'll roll out right, looking for a man, firing, has a receiver. It's hauled in but dropped plenty of yards short as he hit Trey Johnson.
That'll be around the 38-yard line. So that'll be 4th and 5 now for the Indians. Indians are going to punt it away here.
4th and 5 on your, the negative side of the field, so they have to punt. You give up a couple of yards through the air if you're Warrensburg, but you're fine with that because they got to punt it off. I mean, they needed 11 and only got half of it. High snap, sending it away, and a low kick. Or a short kick, rather, that just kind of deadened once it went down. And it maybe got to the Warrensburg 40-yard line. I think that's about where it ended up.
So Warrensburg will have the ball 1st and 10 at the 42-yard line. 2 minutes, 6 seconds to go.
I think that was who? That was Cullum again, right? Yeah, he knew who punted that one. And we'll see if this rain becomes a factor, especially for teams that run the ball. It's a lot easier to, botch something whenever the ball's, getting hit by rain every second. And nothing heavy right now, but it is just, a steady light rain at the moment. Hickey's going to keep. He's rolling left, and a pickup of a couple as he goes out of bounds. And they did have it at the 42 to start that possession, and they'll tack on 1 yard to the 43 of Warrensburg. A game that we thought could have a whole lot of scoring. Nothing thus far. Late quarter one with 2:01 to go. Receivers to the right. To both sides. And Hickey in the backfield, he'll hand to his running back, working out right side, trying to get an edge. And across the 45, breaking a tackle and going out of bounds, maybe crossing midfield that time, was Brennan Bonds. He'll be a yard short of picking up the first as they cross into Indians territory at the 49.
Just 1 yard to go now for Warrensburg.
And this is a little different of a situation. You don't get this here. I think you do see them go for it with it being would be a potential 4th and very short. So this might be 2-down territory, but if Warrensburg wants to avoid some drama, they'll just get the 1 yard here. Hickey in the backfield with a back with him. That's where he'll go. And crossing off the right side for a first down, breaking a tackle across the 40, down at the 35. Goes Lorenzo Wright for a first Southern Bank first down. It looked like there was a chance maybe to get stopped at the line was Wright, but he bounced off a couple of potential tacklers and picked up way more than enough for that first. They got it marked at the 35-yard line of Johnston City. Their offense has moved fairly well. You look back at that fumble snap that they recovered that just had to hop on. That's what did them in. Hickey with the keeper, just rolling right, not a whole lot. He gets forced out of bounds before getting to the 30. He picked up maybe 3 yards on the play. 2nd 2nd and 8 is what they'll call it.
Yeah, I mean, I think as you mentioned, Garrett, we're expecting this to be a very high-scoring game.
Well, it definitely had the potential, and it
right.
still can get that way.
Yeah, it
but
still
right
could.
now, the defenses have really,
Right.
and it's not like they've done a great job, Johnson City, but they've done enough.
Right.
Warrensburg had a long first drive, and they're having another time-consuming one here. Hickey gets the snap, hands to the back right, bouncing off tacklers on the left. He's dropped behind the line.
Big defensive stop there by the Indians. That'll make it.
They're going to lose a yard.
Yeah, 3rd and 9.
Under a minute to go, quarter one. Third and 9 from the 34 for Warrensburg. Hickey in the backfield. One back with him, 2 to the right, 2 to the left. Dropping back is Hickey. He's working in the pocket, steps up. It is
intercepted. Interception from 22.
That's Jace Weaver.
Jace Weaver.
Weaver on both sides of the ball making plays, and Johnson City takes over.
30 seconds left to go.
The Indians defense gets another stop. Warrensburg still nothing to show for it as we remain scoreless. Great play by two-way player Jace Weaver. Now Johnson City goes to work at their own 18. Up the gut, good run there.
That pass is.
Look at that interception we just saw.
That pass is.
Yeah, I mean, awesome play there from Weaver. And then there on the carry, first down carry from Burton. Hayden Burton for Johnson City gets them pretty close to picking up all 10 yards right away, and he did. That's the first Southern Bank first down. They bring the sticks out to measure it. So he gets right at 10 yards as we got 14 seconds to go, quarter one, in a scoreless game between Warrensburg and Johnson City. They'll run the timer. So we got 10 seconds to go. And they might not snap the ball. They're going to let it run out. End of quarter one. Warrensburg-Latham 0. Johnston City 0. Here live from Johnson City here in the WFCN Game of the Week.
Located at the east end of the field. Tonight they have barbecue sandwiches, hamburgers, cheeseburgers, hot dogs, and a lot of other items. Support our junior class. Visit the concession stand.
Quick score update from some of our local games we have going on right now. We just got an update. They're still in the fourth quarter over in Murfreesboro. It's currently 34-7 with Breeze with the lead in the fourth quarter. Still at halftime, 21-0 Benton Rangers right now over in Benton. And the other two games we had today, earlier, Nashville Hornets beating the Comets 41-21, and Cesar Valier falling to Calhoun, Hardin Calhoun 14-6. Getting underway here in the second quarter of play in Johnston City. We're still scoreless. And it'll be the Indians starting the ball on their own 27-yard line. That's where it'll be 1st and 10. Again, I'm Aaron Price, joined alongside Garrett Smith here on the WFCN Game of the Week, playoff week 2. Here's the snap. And that won't be a gain of much at all.
Yeah, up the gut. It'll end up pushing forward for maybe 3-4 yards, actually. Yeah, that gets them out across the 31. They'll take 4 yards, absolutely. Looked like they weren't having a whole lot, but the line pushed them forward. Be 2nd and 6 from their own 31. So we're here early in quarter 2 in a scoreless ball game. Koenig under center. And he'll draw back looking to get rid of it. Firing left side of the field. It's bobbled and dropped as there was a defensive player contesting it. That went in and out of the hands of Wyatt Henderson, who had a step on his defensive matchup. We got a flag thrown out where that ball was intended to go, so they'll call defensive pass interference.
Man, that was a awesome throw, and Henderson, tough break, but I mean, if they call pass interference, it still works in your favor.
You get 15 yards.
Right. You'd like to have more with a catch, but
it looked like
it's
decent coverage, so maybe we didn't see what it was that it caused the flag. I actually thought it was pretty good coverage, and it just ended up, distracting the receiver, who ended up losing control of it. Up the gut, sidestep move out across the 50, out across the 45, and into enemy territory goes Johnston City for a First Southern Bank first down. That was Causey.
Will be an 11-yard pickup for Nolan Causey.
Yeah, they're out at the 43 now.
Yep. 10:58 left to go here early in the second quarter.
Their first time crossing midfield. It's only their second drive, though. And it's Causey again, breaking free. He's out across the 35, and he's dropped around the 30 for another First Southern Bank first down. Johnston City's offense finding a rhythm. Out at the 30, 10:35 to go, quarter 2. Couple of big runs in a row for Johnston City's offense. Under center is Koenig. Let's see where he goes. Hand off. The line moves out to about the 26 or so. It's going to be a pickup of 4 yards for Weaver. Just watch that pile start pushing forward. Credit to Johnston City's O-line. They always push momentum forward, and the running back follows suit. And even gains that don't look like a whole lot, you still pick up 4, which is a big deal, especially on first down. Koenig under center. 9:50 to go. Koenig hands it off. Back working off the right side. Flag thrown in as Causey got out to about the 22 and was dropped. They're thinking initially it looks like something on the defense. At least it looked like. And it is. It's a face mask. That's going to be 15 yards added on.
That'll put the ball right around the 18-yard line, 17-yard line. 17 yards to go for the Indians, 9:40 left in this second quarter. Indians looking to get on the board first.
Man motion to the right and goes back left. Koenig under center, 9:30 left.
It's Causey.
Off to the right side. He's got some space. He's still going. He's fighting towards the goal line. And he's just short of getting in as he broke through a whole bunch of tacklers all the way down to the 1.
So another big pickup for Nolan Causey will make it a First Southern Bank first down, where it'll be first and goal for the Indians.
Beat me to it, Aaron. That's what I was going with there.
1 yard to go, 9 minutes, 10 seconds.
Right up on the goal line. Keep it simple here. If you're Koenig, he's got it, looking for a push, and they got him in for a touchdown. Caden Koenig gets across the plane, and Johnston City strikes first with a score at the 9:02 mark in quarter 2.
Took about a quarter and a half, but we finally have score in this game. Still early on now. 6-0 Johnston City. Looks like they are going. What they do here?
All right, odd formation.
Yeah.
The whole line's lined up on the left
Yeah, I was
hash.
about
They
to
got
say.
one receiver way out to the right. And we might have a timeout called. We do by Johnston City. 9:02 to go, quarter two. Johnston City about to attempt their point after, but a good drive, just a steady drive.
We mentioned the playoff atmosphere in Johnston City. They've upped their game this year. They got confetti now. They got cowbells and confetti.
You're all excited, aren't you?
All excited about that confetti.
I think it scared you a little bit.
Yeah, I know. Floating in the booth almost.
I'm glad we're in here. I love their facility here.
Yeah,
I don't want to be calling the game out in the rain. So,
right.
As always, nice hospitality here at Johnston City. It makes it pretty easy to come here and call ball games. So, once again, great job by them. And keep Aaron up here in the booth, steering clear of all the confetti down there that might harm him. All right, they're lined up. They're going to go for two. Lined up on the left, same formation here. Koenig tosses out right, trying to work right in. Does he have a seam to get through? It's Weaver, and he does. He gets through for the two-point conversion. 8-0 Johnston City. So the 1-yard run from Koenig, and then the 2-point successful from Jace Weaver.
Let's real quick, Garrett, go ahead and take a look at kind of what got the Indians here to get on the board first in this game.
Pass interference.
Yep.
Looked like good coverage. Another
run by Causey.
That's number 31, Causey. Down near the
big one. And then the easy 1-yarder for Katie. You can follow this board. And then you get the 2-pointer. Makes it 8-zip. Johnston City.
Nice work down on the field by our sideline crew.
Take it easy. He did his job.
They're in the rain tonight, and we're not. So
that's right. That's right. Rather him than me. So great work on the sidelines again.
That's one sideline work really becomes much more important when it comes to playoffs due to the audio only. So
you gotta get him dedicated though. We need him sitting on the goalpost, getting footage.
Yeah. Just tape him up there.
All right, low ground ball kick yet again. And back to field it is Bonds. He fumbled it, picked it up. He's at the 15, now to the 20, now to the 25, and then he's dropped out around the 27, 28-yard line. So Bonds, a good recovery after, misplaying the football down around the 10. So decent field position to start for Warrensburg.
Over in Benton, a touchdown by Riley Spencer in the third quarter makes it now 28-0 with 8:16 left.
They got to take it easy. They've been rocking and rolling.
Yeah.
Over in Benton, and looks like they're marching on. And wouldn't it be neat if we could see, Benton and Nashville win their next games? They'd be playing each other.
Mm-hmm.
In what would end up being the fourth round of the postseason.
Man, that would be a good game. That'd definitely be the game of the week there.
On the carry is Bonds. He gets a good gain off the left edge.
And you also mentioned
out to the 35.
You also mentioned Garrett Chester. We could see that.
Chester ended up. I got an update. They ended up going on the road and getting beat.
Oh, really?
By Monroe Forsyth, number 2 seed. Don't have the exact score, but Chester falls short. One loss team with only one loss, and they ended up being a 7 seed. Ended up hurting Chester. They have to play a 2 seed in round 2. And They go on the road and get beat. So their really good season comes to an end. That we've heard about them all year long. Might have gotten the guy to jump. We'll see. Says the back working off the left, and he stood up and dropped right at the line. Bonds couldn't get any momentum downhill, and it's going to bring up third and a couple of yards.
So it'll be 3rd and 4 with 7:26 left to go here in the second quarter. Ball be
at the 34-yard line. Yep. 3rd and 4. Dropping back is Hickey. Looking downfield. Hits his man, and it's caught out past the 45. Staying on his feet is Lee, and he's out of bounds on the far sideline after crossing midfield. Cottrell Lee picks up a big catch on 3rd and short for a First Southern Bank first down.
16-yard gain for Warrensburg.
And that's the threat you always have if you can throw the football. 3rd and long, 3rd and short, whatever it is, you can always drop back, and you got a quarterback that can fire footballs into open spaces. We've seen it already a couple times. You're always a threat offensively when you have that capability. And Hickey's picked up a couple of good 3rd down conversions on some nice passes. He drops back looking to throw again. Over the middle, and it's a one-armed attempt from Lee is dropped on the turf, out around the sticks, over the middle of the field, but little nonchalant play from Lee. It looked like, he just maybe lays out or tries to wrap it up 2 hands. Even if you go to the turf, you're getting some yardage instead. It's going to be 2nd and 10 back at midfield. Right around 7 minutes left in the first half.
Ball's exactly in midfield on the 50-yard line for Warrensburg.
And Johnson City kicked to start, so they'll get it in the second half. Handoff out of the backfield. Here's Bonds working left side. Out across the 50, out of the backfield, and down shy of the 45. And he is shaken up on the play.
Yeah, I was just about to say that tackle there it looked like it came down pretty hard on his right or left, I believe his right leg.
So the timer's going to stop at 6:48 as they're going to tend to Bonds, who went down awkwardly. They set up shop. It's 3rd down, and what do they got? 3rd and 7 as they get into Johnson City territory. But another big 3rd down coming up after this stoppage. But a good look from both sides of Johnson City's football team, and the offense got it going there in drive number 2. Really breaking through was Nolan Causey. The defense has come up big. They forced a turnover on downs, and they forced, an interception. And the one thing about a pocket passer is you can put him under pressure, and if you get in the backfield early enough, he feels like he's got to deliver balls a little sooner, and it might have been what we saw earlier whenever he was picked off by Weaver. He had the underthrow on the drive before, so put the pressure in the backfield, and you'll have a shot for him to make mistakes. It's a lot easier to make mistakes throwing the ball. You got the opportunity for a lot bigger plays, but if you're under duress, a lot more room for error as well.
Quick update from Benton. Riley Spencer, another touchdown. It's 34-0 now with 5:46 in the 3rd quarter. Craven, Kazukas, and Spencer have all had touchdowns for the Rangers tonight.
Big 3rd and 7 from the 47. Dropping back is Hickey. He tries to get out of the backfield, working left, floats the ball, and it's going to be incomplete. Intended for the receiver around the 20-yard line. Warrensburg's looking for a penalty, and they're not going to get one. Fourth and 7. We'll see what the offense does. Hickey was trying to give his receivers all the time he could as he rolled out of the pocket towards the sideline and finally got rid of that thing. 4th and 7 for Warrensburg, trailing 8-0. The Indians of Johnson City leading. Hickey in the backfield, 2 receivers left, 2 receivers right, running back with Hickey, dropping back, big 4th down, and it's in and out of the hands of Lee. It would have been more than enough, and he just drops the football. It's a turnover on downs. I think the problem you see there is Lee was already past the catching part of that play and was already looking to turn upfield. And you've got to complete the catch, especially on 4th down. You don't need the extra yards there. Catch it and go. I mean, you could make a secure catch by catching and going straight down. He was too worried about some bonus yards, but they get stuck with 0. Johnston City takes over at the 47.
Murfreesboro Red Devils, season comes to an end, 34-7 loss.
Handoff up the gut, whole bunch of yards for a 1st down, and plenty more across midfield and across the 40, just shy of the 35. A big run from Marcus Lightson. They'll mark it at the 37-yard line. 6 minutes to go, first half. And what a huge boost this could be if Johnson City finds a way to run a lot of this time down, score, and then they get it to start half number 2. Another handoff working right side. It's out on the ground. And they're going to say that ball came free. Causey fumbled it, and Warrensburg's going to jump on it, and they say Warrensburg football. There was a big pile, so we couldn't really tell, but a Cardinal did come out with it. Now, whether the player was down or not, it was hard for us to be able to tell.
Well, I'll tell you what, Gary, one thing you don't want to do in the playoffs is play sloppy football, but sometimes when both teams are doing it, it works in the favor of both teams. So Warrensburg will take back over there, and, once in a while you have a slip like that comes free, and Warrensburg will take over 1st and 10 on the 33-yard line.
And I didn't see a whole lot of rebuttal from Johnson City's sideline. They seem to know or think that ball probably did come out early. Hickey, backfield, a couple of backs with him. That's where they'll go. Handoff up the gut, not a whole lot, out around the 35, maybe for 2 yards before being brought down. Jakowski on the carry for 2 yards. .5:15, so that changes everything. Johnson City gives it right back after a huge 1st down run. And now Warrensburg has time to kind of march down the field and try to knot the score. Hickey hands it off to Bonds in the backfield. He's working to the right, looking for a corner, looking for an edge. He gets across the 35 for a gain of a couple. We got a flag thrown. Play running so much side to side makes you think holding, but we'll see. And it is a hold against the offense. That's what you'd expect when you're moving so much side to side instead of back and forth. You got linemen shifting their whole spot where they're trying to block, and that's why you see so many holds on calls or on plays of that nature. So looks like they'll accept it, and it'll be 2nd and long. They'll march it back for Warrensburg with 4:58 to go. And they'll run the timer as we're down to 4:50. Second and 17 from the 26. And we've got another timeout called again by Johnston City at the 4:39.
Well, I'm glad they called a timeout because I wanted to talk real quick about, obviously we got so many games going on here in week 2 that we're trying to keep up with them all, and it gets easier as all the games kind of get over at different times. So we'll get a little less chaotic on my end later into the night. But Murfreesboro, as I mentioned, their playoff run comes to an end with a loss against Breeze Central at home, 34-7. So Breeze Central will move on into the IHSA quarterfinals. Elsewhere, the other game we're still watching right now is the Benton Rangers. They have a steady lead right now into the third quarter of play, 34-0 over the Sullivan Redskins. So as things stand right now, looks like we'll have the Nashville Hornets and the Benton Rangers headed to the quarterfinals, and we'll see how it ends up tonight here in Johnston City. 2nd and 17 at the 26-yard line now for Warrensburg.
Hickey gets the snap. He's looking to throw, dropping back, firing to a receiver. That's Lee. Catches it, and he gets dropped around the original line, out at the 33.
That was Cargill on the tackle, and Manning is brought down quick.
It'll bring up
right around
third and 10 at the 33-yard line.
Yeah, right around the line of scrimmage. And
we have something, a flag? Looks like we got a flag, far sideline, something against the defense. So it's going to remain 2nd down. The penalty against Johnston City, not sure what it was. Didn't see the flag until the motion there at the very end. So 2nd and 6. End around handoff. Working left now is Lee, looking for space. Makes a man miss. Out across the 45 for a first Southern Bank first down. So mark him at the 47. Approaching midfield, 4 minutes to go. As he stayed in bounds. So that keeps the timer rolling. I don't think Warrensburg's burned a timeout yet. So I think they've got all 3.
Mm-hmm. 47-yard line, 1st and 10. Here's the snap.
Hickey dropping back, looking downfield, trying to hit a man, and it's thrown in between two receivers. He split where 2 of his receivers were that time. He had a couple guys running up both edges of the hashes, and he threw it right down the middle of it. So incomplete, 2nd and 10.
So it's 2nd and 10 at the 47 for Warrensburg, and they're looking to hopefully get on the board before halftime. That'd be nice if you're Warrensburg, because as you mentioned, Garrett, Johnston City gets the ball to start the second half.
Yeah, and the time should start now as on the whistle. Now they give the signal. So we're rolling again, 3:25. Wait, why? I'm not sure why the time's rolling. Was that not an incomplete pass?
Maybe they're just as confused about running the timer tonight as I am, Garrett. So
am I reading that wrong? Was that not an incomplete pass? Okay, and then on the carry, it's going to be a gain out across midfield. They'll get 6 yards, so 3rd and 4 at the 47 of Johnston City.
big play here for Warrensburg.
3rd and small. This is where Hickey has made a couple of nice deliveries to his receivers. This ball's on the turf. It's loose. Looked like Warrensburg jumped back on it, but it's going to bring up 4th down right around the line. Another ball knocked loose, and this one, it's mainly just been on the handoffs. It's not on the transfers.
Right.
There was one that was jarred free from a defensive player when Causey fumbled it, but the other 3 or 4 that we've already seen has just been, ball slipping out of the hands.
Right.
.240 to go, 4th and 5, and this puts you in a tricky spot. If you're Warrensburg, you don't get this. you give it back. So you don't really want Johnston City having a whole lot of time. But if you do convert, then you're thinking, well, we need some time. So,
Right.
and we get a timeout called at 2:27 left in half number one.
Over in Benton, another quick update. Zapata with a touchdown. It's now 41-0 in the third quarter. Man, the Rangers are definitely having themselves a game right now over in Benton. And with that, they're pretty much guaranteed to secure their spot in the quarterfinals.
4th and 5, big play here from the 48. Hickey drops back, looking for a receiver. Fires over the middle, has him in. It's a diving
And it's out
effort,
of the
and
hands.
it's in and out of the receiver's hands. That's Bonds, who laid out for it.
Man,
Looked like he had it, and then he hit the turf, and it jarred it free.
Had that stayed in his hands, that would have been quite a play. And it wasn't a bad throw, but that's Johnston City that'll take over here with about 2 minutes and 19 seconds left to go. Yeah, we've seen a lot of, whether it be on the transfer or just even on the throw, we've seen a lot of bobbled footballs
It's been
tonight.
a frustrating offensive first half, I'm sure, for Warrensburg. A couple of different drives where that ended their drives, drops. That second one, not as much. The first one was more of a drop in and out of the hands. That one was a receiver's still going to tell you, a guy like that, he's going to say, I probably should have caught it. And then we saw a couple of other plays, drives down here on the other end where the drive stalled. Frustrating offensively to have 0 points when it seems like they moved the ball fairly well tonight.
Right. 2nd and 9 now.
On the carry up the gut, just 1 yard. So 2nd and 9 with 1:55 to go in the first half.
Indians have it just shy of midfield, 49-yard line. Here's the snap.
Koenig keeps rolling right, out across the 50, and he falls forward, out of bounds.
Say about
at the 47.
Yeah, 47, 48-yard line. And
He's run out of bounds on the Warrensburg-Latham Indian sideline at the 47.
47.
You not trust me or something when I say that?
3rd and 5 now.
Okay, another big play here. Try to keep moving the football. If you're Johnston City, even if you don't score, you don't want to give the ball back the other way. Handoff, not a whole lot, just a couple. It's going to be stopped at the 35 as Causey, or rather the 45. And Warrensburg's going to burn a timeout at the 1:30 mark. So 4th and some yards. Interesting call coming up for Johnston City. Do you try to pin them and go to the locker room? But if you pick up the first, you're almost guaranteeing that Warrensburg wouldn't get it back. But then you run that risk of not getting it, and they're basically right where they were. Yeah, there's less time, but they're still around midfield, and we know their passing game allows for them to get downfield pretty quickly.
Right.
So it'll be interesting. We'll see. And Warrensburg's helping JC out a little bit by giving them some extra time to think about what they want to do.
Right.
It's all about your strengths, too. If you've got a strong punter, might be an easier decision than some other teams might have to make. But and compared to how do you like running in the trenches and, up the gut on 4th and short, and knowing the other team knowing that you're going to run? How does your team respond to that? So we'll see. Right now, looks like Koenig's under center, and they're going. And
timeout for the Johnson City Indians now. So
if Coach Todd Thomas just wanted to line up, see what he was faced against,
yeah,
and he gets another freebie. You can't take him with you in the second half. That'll
right.
just give him a better idea on what he's wanting to do. I think Johnson City is out of timeouts. I think Warrensburg's only got 2 left. I think Johnson City's burned all 3 of theirs. But still, I'm not sure what you're going to do. And there's a lot of factors. Playing in the rain, you've already seen a lot of balls dropped and muffed and fumbled. So how do you want? I mean, do you want your long snapper snapping to your punter and you know, hoping for a good clean one? Or do you just go for it? And if not, you still say, hey, the defense, you still got to have them. They still got to go over 50 yards to get a score in a minute 30. And trust your defense if you don't get it. I think that's what you probably need to do. They've not given up points yet. Looks like they're going. Koenig, handoff. It's to Weaver, and it looks like he's got it. That's a First Southern Bank first down as he crosses just shy of the 40. He's got it by plenty. No reason to even worry about the marker coming out.
It is a first down for the Indians. First Southern Bank first down. 1:24 left to go here to halftime.
All right. And now they'll wind the clock. It's going now at 1:20 at the Warrensburg 41-yard line. Same formation. Under center is Koenig. The flip to the back. And that's Causey breaking through. He's out across the 35 before being dropped, nearing the first down marker. We're under a minute to go, first half. 8-0 Johnston City.
2nd and 1, 49 seconds.
No timeouts. So you'd like to work sidelines a little bit. They're going to pass. Koenig has a man. It is. Is it hauled in? It is. Out, down by the 10 is Cargill.
Man, if you're the Indians here, you're able to get a touchdown and hopefully.
30 seconds. They got to go.
Yeah, they do.
Inside the 10, they got it marked at the 7. First and goal for Johnston City. 20 seconds. With the carry, nearing the goal line and in goes the Indians again. They get it in on the keeper. And Johnston City plays that to near perfection by running almost all the time off, and they get a second score.
We'll take a look at that instant replay. Man. First of all, here's that big throw.
Cargill. You don't see Johnston City throw the ball a lot. When you get a throw.
16-10.
They're going to go for 2. They're going up the gut. And they're in for another 2.
That'll make it a
16-10.
ball game going into the half. Couldn't tell you. Well, once again, let's go ahead and take a look at that was Koenig on the touchdown for the Indians. So that'll make it 16-0 going into the half here, Garrett, and we're going to have a look at some local scores. as well as a recap of what we've seen in this game so far, as we're about 17 seconds left to go here, and we'll have the Johnny Logan College Why Would You Go Anywhere Else halftime show coming your right here in just a moment.
Now see if Warrensburg's got some crazy return potential here. This is going over, down around the 20, picked up there by return man Bonds. He's working right sideline, now 10 seconds. He's dropped at the 35-yard line with 8 seconds to go in the first half. I think they'll just sit on this. I think they'll kneel it, I would think. Take this into the second half. The Johnston City goes up 16-zip. 2 touchdown runs from Caden Koenig, a 1-yarder early in the second, and then the one just a minute ago, 7-yarder. And Johnston City 2 2-point conversions, and they lead at 16-0. And this game has felt about as 50-50 game as it gets. The fact that Johnston City's up 2 scores.
Right.
It's a big deal.
Yep.
They've got a formation out there. They're going to throw it out left, hit their man. On the catch is the receiver, Lee, and he's got a whole bunch. And there's time. It's what?
I can't put that on the timer. It's 1/10 of a second left.
And then you'll have to round it up to a second. Somehow had that big completion as they get across midfield, and Lee did a lot of dancing to get to the 38 of Johnston City, so they can take a heave towards the end zone here. And he gets out at, what, 1/10 of a second.
All right. First and 10, 1/10 of a second for Warrensburg on the 35-yard line.
And they're going to burn a timeout. So they get one final play, barring a defensive penalty. It's from the 38, and we know this quarterback in Braden Hickey can certainly heave it there, and we'll see if they can hit something. And then what a momentum killer that would be if they somehow got it, or a boost in their sake.
Right.
If they were able to somehow find a way to get points here when it looked like they were just going to take a knee. Nice play from Lee as they dropped it off in the backfield, and he flew across midfield and somehow got out of bounds before the time ran out.
I'll say this too, Garrett. Even if they are able to pull off something crazy here, I mean, Indians still have the ball to start the second half. So
yeah, but I mean,
we hope that doesn't happen. But
that would be major, though.
It would be a major boost for Warrensburg if they were able to.
That's the type of boost, even though they'd still be losing. That changes games completely.
Yeah. Completely flips over the momentum. So with 1/10 of a second left to go, here is
3 receivers right, 1 left. Now motion out of the backfield, 2 to the left, 3 to the right. Hickey drops back. He's got to heave it towards the end zone. They get in the backfield to him. He's not going to get a throw off. He's dropped for a sack. And we're going to the half at 16-0. Johnston City leading Warrensburg-Latham.
And we will have the Johnny Logan College Why Would You Go Anywhere Else halftime show that's coming up right after this break. You're listening to the WFCN News Game of the Week here from Johnston City.
Please visit the concession stand located at the east end of the field. The restrooms are located at the east end of the field as well.
Presented by Swinford Media Group. Get ready for a WFCN Game of the Week. Powered by our incredible sponsors. Watermark Auto Group. John A. Logan College. Black Diamond Harley Davidson. Moreland Bishop McDonald's. Deaconess Illinois Medical Center. Chick-fil-A, coming soon to Marion. Anderson's Furniture and Mattress. The Illinois Army National Guard. Legence Bank. Kemper's CPA Group. The City of Heron. The City of Cesar. Banterra Bank. Fellowship of Christian Athletes. The Bank of Heron. State Farm Kenya Garner. SIU Credit Union. Southern Trust Bank. The Print Shop at Pieces of Learning. First Southern Bank. Anderson Boys Trash Service. State Bank of Whittington. Urology Institute.
Hi, I'm Tyler Young with the Print Shop here in Marion. We're on the square. We just got done doing some perforated vinyl here at Swinford Publications. So this is the vinyl that you can see out, but people can't see in, and it gives a nice little look and feel to a number of different kinds of businesses. So come see us at the Print Shop. We're at 1112 North Carbon, next to AutoZone behind Hardee's.
Want to know one of the best ways to show your Saluki pride? I'm Luke Martin, voice of the SIU Salukis and proud owner of a Banterra Saluki Visa debit card. Being able to use a Saluki branded debit card with no fees at more than 55,000 ATMs and special Saluki offers is a perk. Knowing that my transactions go towards supporting SIU is a win. Plus, Banterra is the bank that you want as a partner. Stop by a Banterra branch for details. Banterra is a proud supporter of regional athletics.
Presented by Swinford Media Group. Get ready for a WFCN Game of the Week. Powered by our incredible sponsors. Watermark Auto Group. John A. Logan College. Black Diamond Harley Davidson. Moreland Bishop McDonald's. Deaconess Illinois Medical Center. Chick-fil-A, coming soon to Marion. Anderson's Furniture and Mattress. The Illinois Army National Guard. Legence Bank. Kemper's CPA Group. The City of Heron. The City of Cesar. Banterra Bank. Fellowship of Christian Athletes. The Bank of Heron. State Farm Kenya Garner. SIU Credit Union. Southern Trust Bank. The Print Shop at Pieces of Learning. First Southern Bank. Anderson Boys Trash Service. State Bank of Whittington. Urology Institute.
We welcome you back to Johnston City. This is the Johnny Logan College Why Would You Go Anywhere Else halftime show. I'm Aaron Price, joined alongside Garrett Smith as we got a little bit more time left to go here before the Indians take to the field again against Warrensburg, currently a 16-0 ball game. Garrett, let's go ahead and quickly run through some of the biggest plays we've seen here in this football game so far. I'll go ahead and let you take a look as we run through some of our sideline video through the game. That's got to be. That was the third completion.
That pass is.
Chase Weaver jumping in front.
That pass.
It didn't seem like it to me. There was a bunch of
That's number 3, Maryland, Causey.
This is a good pass. 16-0 Johnston City at the half.
So there's your Kemper CPA group by the numbers here as we are just about ready to get back underway in just a little bit here as Johnston City takes on Warrensburg. Garrett, all throughout the season, I'd say pretty much we've lucked out weather-wise. We only had a couple weeks where we had a lot of rain come through. We had 1 week where, we were in Carterville and complete rain out. We had a lightning delay for about three, even 4 hours, I'd say. But other than that week, other than the hurricane week, I think we've fared pretty well weather-wise this season. Now tonight, it is raining a little bit, but that certainly is not keeping the Indians or Warrensburg fans home, as they're all out with their umbrellas and ponchos here tonight.
Yeah, I mean, it's been good weather this season. Even tonight, it's not overly cold, so it's kind of manageable with it being raining. So, and that's kind of what you expect for playoff football. Playoff football always seems to come with not so great weather. It seems like the first chunk of the season, is always great weather, and then it's a totally different type of atmosphere later on as the game or the season goes on. But yeah, I don't think there's any complaints. I think these guys are used to it. So, first point, Johnston City. They win that first half. Plenty of opportunity for Warrensburg. We mentioned it before we went to the half. It seemed like this has been a toss-up game, and the fact that it has been that way, and Johnston City's still up, maxed out 2-score lead, meaning it's a 2-score game only if Warrensburg, touchdown, 2-pointer both times, or else it could be a 3-score game. Huge boost because this was really a 50-50 first half game.
Yeah, I think going into the second half of the game, Warrensburg, both teams really, I think, if you look at the score right now, 16-0 Johnston City, I think both teams are going to have to go into the second half with a very, very firm approach. I think if you're Warrensburg, even more so, obviously, because you're down 2 possessions. But I think as we look into the third quarter of play, if you're Johnston City, you need to do the same thing. If you can come out quick and if you can come out quick and really be able to score quick, I think you'll really be able to open up a lead against Warrensburg. I mean, that'd make it 21-0, and then from there you're already in the third quarter, and you just got to hold up your defense.
You're already at an advantage, being up 16 points, but the whole game plan needs to stay the same. Same game plan, but it doesn't have to have the same outcome. You've got a little bit of a buffer here. Things don't have to go perfect, and you're still going to be a winner. Just don't make any stupid mistakes, and you'll be okay. Try to limit. I know it's tough with it being slick and it raining, but got to be careful on a couple of those fumbles and missed snaps and whatnot. But because that really turns things for a team that's trailing the quickest way to get back in the game is a turnover. And
Right.
if that happens, I think we're right back deadlocked at who's going to win if Warrensburg were able to start doing or forcing that.
Mhm.
But, Johnson City doesn't. They're in great shape, playing at home, up 16 points at the half.
Yeah, I would agree. Just about ready to get back underway here in Johnson City. We'll play a few quick ads. You're listening to the WFCN Game of the Week. All right, we welcome you back here to Johnston City, where it's 16-0 JC over Warrensburg, entering the second half of play. We already have two Southern Illinois teams advancing to the IHSA quarterfinals in the Benton Rangers and the Nashville Hornets. We'll see if the Johnson City Indians can add to that club tonight with a win over Warrensburg. Here's the kick, and it'll be Johnson City to begin to start with the ball here in the second half.
Causey returns and gets knocked down at the 30-yard line. That's where Johnson City starts up drive one of the second half.
So it'll be 1st and 10 for the Indians at the 31-yard line.
Koenig hands it off, working right side, now back left. Good gain on first down for Causey out across 35, just shy of the 40.
So the Indians will gain 8 yards on that play. Back to the 39-yard line, 2nd and 2. As the rain continues to fall a little bit heavier now here in Johnston City. 2nd down, here's the snap.
Jumping over a lineman was Weaver, who gets a couple of yards, but it's enough for a First Southern Bank first down. Out at the 42.
Here's the snap. And he's just past midfield, still on his feet.
My goodness, staying on his feet. Getting down near the 40 is Lightson.
So it's another First Southern Bank first down, just shy of the 40-yard line for the Johnson City Indians. 42-yard line on the 16-yard gain from Lightson. 1st and 10 with 10:37 left to go here in the third quarter. Refs having to wipe off the ball a little more often now, thanks to the heavier rain coming down. We saw a lot of that in the other game of the week we saw this season, where Johnson City took on Cesar. Here's
Koenig.
the snap.
Handoff up the middle. Getting about half of the yards, maybe 6 even.
The gain of 5, 2nd and 5 for the Indians. Ball now on the 37-yard line. And they're set to go. Here's the snap. That's
Flip, that's
Causey, yep.
He's got the right edge. He's got a first down. Out past the 30.
Well,
inside, just shy of the 25.
Well enough for a First Southern Bank first down, and that'll be about the 28-yard line or so. 11-yard gain there for Nolan Causey on the 26-yard line. 1st and 10 for the Indians. 9:18. There's a flag on the field on this play, and see what the call is. This clock will stop around 9:07. Flag was called pretty early in the play.
Could be a block against the offense.
So the Indians will move back after the penalty to, they're at the 26, so flag thrown at the 25-yard line. So that'll move the Indians back with 9:07 left here in the third quarter. Ball will be spotted on the 40-yard line for the Indians.
So it's
First and long.
First and a long, long way. Well, they got 1st and 24 from the 40. 8:55 to go. Third quarter.
Here's the snap.
That's Lightson. Head down, powering forward across the 35 when he's tripped up at the 34. They'll give him another. They'll say at the 33. 2nd and 17. Warrensburg gets the penalty to their favor, and Johnston City's got a lot of work to gain a new first down. End around, handoff. Weaver cut off after getting around the 30, so just a couple of yards gain from Weaver. Bring up 3rd and inside the 30-yard line. 13 or they'll say 3rd and 12. 3rd and 12. Much needed stop. If you're Warrensburg, you're facing a team that ends up getting pinned 1st and 24. So if you can't find a way to get a stop on that, you don't feel very good about your defensive standpoint. But so they got 2 plays to get 12 yards, do the Indians. And we got a whistle on the snap. And it's going to be a timeout called by Johnston City. 8:02 left, quarter 3. It's 16-0. Johnston City leading Warrensburg-Latham. Winner plays Pena in week 3 of the postseason. Johnston City win would allow them to come right back here for next week's postseason game. Warrensburg wins, they would be on the road at Pena. So Pena probably looking for the upset, being able to allow them to play at home next week.
Yeah. With the Rangers advancing, we'll be on the road next week at Monticello. Not sure if it's Cello or Cello, but either way, they're there next week.
It's Cello.
Cello.
They're a pretty good program.
And then pending win tonight, if they're able to pull through, Johnston City, as Garrett mentioned, would be here at home against Pena.
Yeah, and I think Nashville is on the road next week as well. So we might be running it back here.
Might be running it back here 2 weeks in a row.
Long way to go before we figure that out, though.
Yeah.
3rd and 12 at the 28. Koenig under center, rolling out and already in the backfield. He's just got to get rid of it and throws it away for a third down incompletion to bring up 4th down, as they got into the backfield immediately as Koenig was rolling out of the pocket. So 4th and 12 at the Warrensburg 28. Koenig under center, rolling, looking left, and it's well over the mark. Looking for Causey, incomplete, and we're going to have a turnover on downs. Warrensburg takes over at their own 28-yard line.
Is that JC's first turnover of the night or second?
Well, I mean, it's the first. I mean, it's not a live ball one, so it doesn't really go in that in terms of if you look at that stat. But they had the fumble earlier.
Right.
This one really doesn't hurt you because it's not live ball. You were going to go for that anyways.
Right.
You really had it backed up against a wall because it was 1st and 24. But big in part of Warrensburg Cardinals. They get a much needed stop, and they get to go and try to get on the board. Hickey, he'll hand to his back, working left, weaving through traffic, out across the 35 and knocked down is Brennan Bonds. Mark him at the 37.
So it'll be second and just 1 yard to go for Warrensburg on the 37-yard line. 7:19 left to go here in the third quarter.
Thing is, you don't know how many more possessions you'll get. Johnson City is a team that loves to chew clock. Handoff, trying to fight for that 1 yard. If they got it, it's not by a whole lot. Falling forward was right. And we'll see the spot. They needed the 38-yard line, and they have the 38-yard line for a First Southern Bank first down. $6:50 to go, quarter 3. You just don't know how many possessions you'll get when you play a team like Johnson City, who chews a lot of time. We're already halfway through the third, and Warrensburg's only been able to run a handful of plays here in this quarter. End around handoff, working and cutting upfield between the hashes out to the 40. Drop down, gain of a couple, was Cottrell Lee, one of the primary receivers, but he gets the handoff this time.
Seven yards to go here for Warrensburg on the 41-yard line.
And Benton's is the final, right?
Yeah, oh yeah.
Yeah, they won their game. We're the last one going here in Southern Illinois, correct?
Yeah, right now, yes.
Handoff up the gut. Couple more. It's going to bring up a 3rd and medium. Drew Jakowski brought down just shy of the 45.
So it'll be 3rd and 4 at the 44-yard line.
Big play. This is almost territory. If you don't get it, you start asking that question again. Are we going for it? You're in the weird spot of the field where you don't know.
Right.
And you'd rather just get the first down now.
.513, here's the snap. He hands it off.
That's Bonds. He's got plenty for a first and more. Out to the 45, to the 40, to the 30. Now down to the 20. Bonds on the sideline and knocked out of bounds for a big First Southern Bank first down.
Huge first down for Warrensburg.
Yeah, I'll say. I mean, man, they'll mark him out at the 10.
Yeah, all the way down to the 10-yard line with 5 minutes to go. So it'll be first and goal for Warrensburg. And now threatening their first points of the game. First and 10.
Hickey in the shotgun. They'll go back to Bonds. He's looking right side, cuts up inside the 10 and drop down. They'll say he's right there at the lines, or they'll say 2nd and 8 from the 10. Guess the original marker had him at the 12, not the 10. 4:30 to go, quarter 3. 2 to the left, 2 to the right. One of the backfields with the quarterback, Braden Hickey. Motion man to the left, gets the snap. They go back to Bonds. Bouncing off a couple of guys, working right side, knocked down. Going to pick up a few more. But it's another 3rd down up and coming for the Warrensburg Cardinals.
Garrett, let's go ahead and play a quick replay of that.
Big spot for Warrensburg. They need another one here. 3rd and 4 at the 6. They don't have to get in the end zone. 4 yards gets them a new set of downs.
Yep.
In the pocket, thrown in to the end zone, and it's batted down by the defensive player. That was Causey, who wouldn't allow Lee to haul that in. It's 4th and 4. I think this is go mode here.
Oh, yeah.
I think
If you're Warrensburg, I'd go for it here, too.
You don't win playoff games by kicking field goals. So,
No.
And you're down 16 with only 3 minutes left in the 3rd. That's another thing. This is their first drive of the 2nd half. Only 3 minutes left in the 3rd. They might not get the ball back more than a time or two.
Warrensburg has the shot. Now's the time to take it if they have a shot in this game.
That's why you probably knew it was 4th down. I almost think they should have just ran it, and then they could have run it again on 4th down. You probably knew you were going for it. Hickey dropping back, rolling left. They've got him marched all the way back. He just floats it up. It's caught inside the 5, and they have him marked. We're waiting on the spot. Somehow he completed a pass.
That was a weird play right there, but yeah, he was able to complete it, and it's not going to be enough as it will be a turnover, and Johnston City will take over with 3:13 left to go. But yeah, Garrett, that was somehow he was able to find someone, and had there been a little bit more of an open spot there, he might have been able to get the first down, but just short of it. So the Indians will take over now on the 6-yard line.
Nice job by Hickey to make something happen. That's almost what I wish he would have done, and you hope he would have done on the 4th and what they had early in the game when he just walked out of bounds.
Mm-hmm.
That was nothing. They were never going to have anything going there, and he just flung it up, and they almost ended up scoring. Makes you think he probably should have done that one drive way down early in the game, but doesn't do them any good because they didn't get the first down yardage. But man, that was almost a backbreaker for Johnston City. That looked like they were going to drop Hickey for maybe a 20-yard sack.
So 2nd and 6 now for the Indians.
At their own 9 with 2:45, and I think you're going to start seeing them choose some time, even more than they already do. Time is their friend. They want that thing to just run out. Not so much for Warrensburg. They toss, back coming towards the right side. It's going to be a gain of a couple more. That was Lightson. 3rd and a couple. Big play here because if you don't get it, you have to punt. Backed up this far on your side of the field. Big play on both sides. And Warrensburg, probably more importantly, needs a stop to get it back. And they'd have good field position if Johnston City had to punt from way down here.
Right. 2 minutes to go here in the 3rd quarter. 3rd down and 3 for the Indians. Here's the snap.
Out to the 15. Looking like he got it. That was Weaver. He got the first. That's the first Southern Bank first down.
3-yard gain to the 15-yard line. I'll make it 1st and 10 for the Indians. Still a long way to go, but progress is progress.
They're mainly just wanting to choose some time. The
Right.
fact that they're that far down the field could, in essence, hurt Warrensburg.
Right,
Because
exactly.
Johnson City has all that field to choose so much time off the clock. That was Burton as the carrier. He gets a good chunk. Out to the 23 before being dropped. The minute left in the third. Second and 2. Carry off the left end, and it's going to be enough for a first down. Sponsored by First Southern Bank. That's Burton with a few more yards. Probably we'll see one more play here in this third quarter, and then Johnson City will take it to the fourth with a 16-0 lead. We're down to 25 seconds. Handoff. Weaver gets a couple. They'll mark him at the 32. And that's going to end quarter number 3. Johnston City 16, Warrensburg-Latham 0. And Johnson City with the football. Just 12 minutes away, Aaron, from making it back to the quarterfinals.
Yeah. So 16-0 Johnson City, and we'll move into the fourth quarter of play. So we're getting ready for the fourth quarter of play here in Johnson City, 16-0 Indians. Now that all the local high school games have wrapped up, another thing that was of interest today, not high school, but the Salukis football with their largest comeback in school history today with a win over Youngstown State. They're having a tough season, but nevertheless, a big comeback win like that has to put a little bit of a spark there in the program.
We're ready to go, quarter 4. And Johnson City with the football, starting at the 32. It's carry off to the left, shy of the 40, out to the yard marker for first down yardage for Jace Weaver. Give him 7 yards when he needed 6. Just 11:40 left in the contest. Johnson City with a 16-point lead over Warrensburg. Those 2 touchdown runs from Koenig there in the second quarter have been the difference.
Timeout called on the field. That'll be charged to the Indians.
Yeah, Aaron, real quick before we get going again. As you mentioned, we already got some teams moving forward in Nashville and Benton. Johnston City in great shape to join those two. How fun would that be? The potential of a Nashville-Benton game, right, at 3A. That would be what? That would be in the semifinals, potentially.
That'd be a huge, huge game.
Wouldn't that be something?
Oh, yeah. Just have to get through Monticello next week.
Yeah, easier said than
Tough
done.
team. Yeah, tough team.
For both of them, I mean, but still, first and 10 from the 39 with the football, breaking free out just shy of the 50 to the 49 is a first down run from Hayden Burton.
Ten-yard gain to the 49-yard line.
And more importantly, it keeps that timer rolling.
That's right.
For Johnston City. Koenig taking his time to get this play off. He's under center. Now they'll snap. They'll go back up the middle with the handoff. Look at the pile just push forward. They got close to another first down. They cross down inside the 45 of Warrensburg.
I'll say it's second.
Second and what, 2?
2 or 3, I'd say. 2. Second and 2. $10:16 left to go.
Koenig's going to keep, and they saw that coming from a mile away, did Warrensburg, and they drop him for a loss. So second and 2 turns into third and 4. It's getting a little too cute, if you ask me. I think just do what's working.
Right.
And instead, now you got to worry about getting a first down. You were just second and 2, and now you're going to have to fight for these 3 yards.
Yep.
Koenig, Tosser's Weaver, working the outer edge, trying to get to the yardage. I don't think he did. He looked short. As he gets knocked out.
About a yard short.
I think, yeah. Needed the 41, and they've got him at the 3?
Yep. 4th and 2, 43-yard line. Like they're going to go for the 4th down.
They got to go. I look like they got a guy that he jumped. Looks like that's going to be coming back. Look like offsides or false start. On the offense, so 4th and 2 turns into 4th and 7. Sounds like they're going to punt now.
Yeah.
You can hear the sideline.
Yeah.
Man, does that change things? We'll see. Timer's down under 10 seconds again, the play clock. So, and this isn't a time when you can run the actual clock because it stopped on the penalty. The punt is off, high arcing, the return man is back. The ball is going to drop around the 20, roll a few yards inside it.
Not much of a roll there, so that'll work. In favor of Warrensburg. It's will take over just shy of the 20-yard line with 9 minutes, 15 seconds left to go here in the 4th quarter. Don't forget, we got the Deaconess Illinois postgame show coming your way after the game. We'll have a recap of all the local football scores from around the region, talk a little bit about the Rangers and the Hornets, as well as tonight's game, the Indians and Warrensburg, and All that and more coming up in the Deaconess Illinois postgame show.
Warrensburg takes over their own 19, trailing 16-zip, 9:15 to go. They'll hand off. It's a good first down run out across the 30 and forced out of bounds around the 35 for Brennan Bonds. It's a good game there to get them out to the 35.
First and 10 Warrensburg on the 35-yard line. Here's the snap. Throws it off and through the hands. It's a loose ball, and that will be an incomplete pass. It was intended for Lorenzo Wright.
Yeah, it was pretty close to. He was definitely forward, so if that's a pass and he's at the line or behind, and that happens, that's a fumble. But he was in front of the where the quarterback was, so yeah, just an incomplete pass. But that could have been bad if he would have been dropped back a little bit, because you're right, it popped right through him. And if it was a fumble, if he would have been behind the quarterback, and Indian was getting to it first.
Right. So second down and 10 now with 9:01 to go.
Not a lot of hurt there, though. I mean, the timer stops. Still got to go a ways anyways. Braden Hickey drops back, looking to pass. Hits a receiver out across the 40, into the 45. That should be enough for a First Southern Bank first down. Hickey looking up with Zakowski on the connection through the air. It's a first down for Warrensburg. Hickey in the shotgun. Back with him. Got receivers both ways. He drops back on the snap. Throws it downfield. Had a man, and it's incomplete. Good coverage that time from Trey Johnson downfield, as that was going to be around the 25-yard line or so. So the pass broken up to bring up second and 10 from the Warrensburg 46.
And very good throw, spot on, but two guys in the same place and ended up in neither of their hands. So second and 10 on the 46-yard line now for Warrensburg. 8:27 here in the fourth quarter. Here's the snap. Looking for a guy.
Hickey overthrew Lee. And there was a bunch of black uniforms around the receiver. They're just a little overthrown, or else that would have been another potential hookup to Lee, who Hickey has looked for quite a bit tonight. So third and 10 after a couple of incompletions. Timer sets at 8:21. Might see them go to the air now because incompletions, timer stops.
Right.
And they got to get down the field. Hickey drops back, looking to throw, looking left, underthrown. Fourth down and 10. It's not a very good pass.
No, not a very good pass at all for Warrensburg.
That was a similar one. We saw one earlier with Hickey that was underthrown. And if it wasn't, like, earlier, this one, this wasn't underthrown, it's probably picked off. It's probably not even caught by the offensive player. It's probably intercepted. So a couple of underthrows that have actually worked to Warrensburg's favor, but they need yards. Fourth and 10, 8:16 left, down 16. This is goes mode now. They got to get it. Not thinking about punting right now.
Fourth down, 10 yards to go. 46-yard line for Warrensburg with Over 8 minutes. Here's the snap. Looking for a guy. Big throw, and that is intercepted by Nolan Causey. He's past the 40, and he's brought down just past the 40-yard line. The Johnston City Indians will pretty much seal their victory with that right there. Nolan Causey on the interception for the Indians.
And that's a play where it's all good and fine, and they look for a good return, but you know, be a little further up if you just bat that ball down.
Mm-hmm.
But that's fine. He had space, so probably the right decision to go ahead and catch it. So he had plenty of space.
Flag on the field now.
Yeah, the helmet came flying off.
Yep. Go ahead and take a look really quick at that.
Sanders, I think.
He got quite a bit of a run there as well. So.
Yeah, he had open space, and he didn't get exactly to where they would have been with an incompletion. But I think with all that space, you make sure you catch it and you see if you can get some sort of a return. And now they're getting a penalty to move him a little bit forward. I think it was on that where that helmet popped off that play. So Johnston City's moving forward. They're across midfield to the 46 with 7:45 left. Koenig goes to Lightson on the carry. They put it at the 37. 2nd and 1 upcoming on the 9-yard rush from Marcus Lightson.
Just 1 yard to go, 7 minutes in the fourth quarter. Here's the snap. Flag already thrown on the field early.
And Lightson still bringing a defender down with him. So he gets across the 25, and we will wait. See what the penalty's all about. Timer stopped at 6:53. Johnston City false start. So that run will come back. We'll get a 5-yard penalty.
A bit of a late flag, but
when it was thrown right on the snap, they just had to get together to discuss it.
Looked like it was thrown a little bit later to me, but a few seconds later. But if it was thrown on the snap. .36.
They're going to have to use another timeout. They don't know what they're doing. They're out in the huddle, and there's only 5 on the play clock, so they got to call a timeout at 6:32 left in the ball game. Does Johnston City 2nd and 6, up by 16. 6 minutes away from moving on to the next round of the IHSA playoffs. Winner playing Pana. Johnston City were to win, they'd be right back here at home next weekend.
Yeah, Ben Rangers will visit the Monticello Sages Saturday at 2 o'clock in Monticello. We'll obviously be keeping our eyes on that game next week as well. And as Garrett's mentioned, if they were to win that game and if Nashville were to win their game next weekend, that would mean a Benton versus Nashville matchup in the IHSA semifinals. So we'll have our eyes on both of those teams and see what happens next weekend. Here's the snap. That's Evan Sanders on the carry, and that'll be enough for a First Southern Bank first down just past the 35-yard line. And they're working their way closer and closer and wasting more and more time for Warrensburg here as the clock ticks past 6:18 left here in the fourth quarter of play. It's 1st and 10 on the 34-yard line.
Yeah, and they don't even have to score. They just need to keep doing what they're doing. Just put it to where Warrensburg really doesn't have any time to do anything with it. Koenig goes right back to Sanders up the middle, powering forward. He's out across the 30, marked around the 27.
Second and 3 now for the Indians, 5:33 left to go.
Right back to Sanders. Let's do it again, they say, and they get enough for a First Southern Bank first down, at least on the initial spot of it. And they say it officially. Out to the 23-yard line or so, maybe the 22. They actually have it at the 24. That's still enough for a first. .505 left. Got a player down on the field. Little 10 to the Indian out there. That's slow getting up. 5:05 left, but the Indians looking good again, Aaron. And,
oh, yeah.
In great shape to close this out. Just take care of the football, and you're going to finish the thing off and win.
Yeah. Another reminder, another reminder, we have the Deaconess Illinois postgame show coming up right after the ball game. We'll have our Kemper CPA by the numbers, along with our Black Diamond Harley Davidson Thrillville Thrillbillies thrilling moment of the game. All that coming up in the Deaconess Illinois postgame show following the game. Maybe potentially some comments from Coach Thomas. We'll have to wait and see. First and 10 at the
timer rolling again. Koenig up the middle again. That's Sanders. Got him down at the 19.
Second and 5 at the 19-yard line for the Indians. Clock ticks, about to tick past 4 minutes here, and if they're able to take it all the way here, Johnson City might be able to get a win with not allowing any points in this game.
Yeah, their defense has been that way this year. They've had plenty of games where they don't give up any points, and yeah, they're well on their way to potentially doing that again. A couple more there on the carry up the middle. Bring up 3rd and short. We'll have it marked at the 17. 3rd and 3. Yeah, they didn't give up a point until week 4. So, I mean, shut out the first 3 teams you played.
Yeah, that shows you how much of a quality team they are. 3:27, 3rd and 3, ball's on the 17-yard line. Here's the snap. That's Causey, or no, correction, that is not Causey.
That's Lightson inside
Lightson.
the 10. And that's enough for a First Southern Bank first down.
First and goal for the Indians, looking to add to their total 16 thus far to make that 21.
The toss. That's Lightson again working out left corner. He's going for the end zone, and he's in for a touchdown. Marcus Lightson from 9 yards out, and Johnston City with the exclamation point here in week 2 against Warrensburg, up 22-zip.
Yeah, Johnston City just keeps adding on, and they do that late in games too. And take a look at that. Just a replay touchdown run from the sidelines.
And Evan Sanders with the 2-pointer runs it up the middle. So Johnston City 3 for 3 on their 2-point of conversion attempts this evening.
.24-0 with 2:44 left to go.
Touchdown was a 9-yard run by Marcus Lightson, 2-point conversion by Evan Sanders.
So Warrensburg will have one last shot to try to get on the board here as the Johnston City Indians will claim their spot in the IHSA quarterfinals, playing here at home next week.
Kick is low and fielded around the 30 or the 40 and across the 40 a few yards before going down. And Warrensburg will start there at the 43 maybe. .240 left. Hickey drops back, has a receiver, hits a man at the JC 45, and falling forward is Lorenzo Wright.
I'll tell you what, Garrett, earlier in this game, when if you flash back to the first quarter, Warrensburg was looking, at least in my opinion, very good. I mean, both teams were looking very good defensively and really offensively as well, but particularly defensively, Warrensburg was in the first quarter. So if you base it off of just what we saw in the first 12 minutes of this game, you would think Warrensburg would be on the board by now.
You thought they had a shot. Hickey's pass is broken up, looking downfield for Lee, and that was Causey who poked it free. We got a flag in the backfield. Looks like we got roughing the passer in the backfield. So that'll be a 15-yard penalty against Johnston City.
You know, when I say that, I think that, you know, when you're playing a team like Warrensburg, Johnston City is the number 1 seed. Warrensburg is what, the number, what seed are they?
The 8th, but
Eighth.
it's two teams that haven't. It's two good teams that haven't played each other.
Right.
So it really doesn't matter. You're not guaranteed anything by being a better seed or not. It's two teams that really don't know a whole lot about the other than what they've seen on tape.
Right.
So it really, honestly, a game like this is a toss-up, and it looked like it there in the first half. It's just Johnson City happened to be up 16 points because a couple of the breaks went their way. And that's going to be a sack in the backfield. As Hickey was dropped well behind the line. I think that was Sanders there and getting into the backfield for the sack. 140 left. At the 37-yard line, 2nd and 19 for Warrensburg. Hickey out of the backfield, drops it outright. It's nearly intercepted, or it's deflected. It's very close to being a backwards pass, but they'll say incomplete. 3rd and 19 from the Johnson City 37-yard line for Warrensburg. 24-zip, Johnson City leading.
Third and 19 for Warrensburg.
Hickey gets the snap, dropping back, looking down left side, cutting middle. It is incomplete and a flag thrown.
On the play.
Thinking they have a defensive player for maybe hitting the receiver a little too early.
Yep.
If that's the case, it's going to be an automatic first. They get the PI against Johnston City.
So the ball will be spotted on the 22-yard line for Warrensburg with 1 minute, 20 seconds left to go here in the fourth quarter. Third and 4.
So it'll still be a third down because they had got 15 yards, but they had a 3rd and 19. This pass is completed for a first down to the 5. Hickey hits Lee that time.
And it's really coming down now here in Johnson City. As it'll be 1st and goal for Warrensburg. 1:10 left to go, and they're hoping to get themselves on the board before this game is over. They're obviously going to take the loss, but looks a little better with some points on the board. We'll see if they're able to do it. Here's the snap.
Hickey floats one to the right corner, and did he bring it in? He did. He got it back in the corner. What a catch.
Man.
Beautiful pitch and throw from Hickey to his receiver. That's Zakowski. And he had bobbled it, but he retained it right before going out. And what a play to Zakowski. So Warrensburg will get on the board. It's just going to be too little too late. They'll go for 2. Ball's fumbled. Hickey gets it back, throws it up in the back corner, and it's incomplete. Looking for Lee.
Another flag on the field now.
Wow.
Not great to see much of that this late in the game in the pouring rain, but unsportsmanlike offsetting penalties.
A couple offsetting penalties, it looks like, after the play. Yeah, so it's going to be after, so. There's 47 seconds left. So now you just assume that they'll kick off and go for the onside. And if they don't get it, Johnson City will just run this thing out. They're lined up on the onside formation. Hands team out there for JC. And jumping on it immediately that time to recover it was Logan Moore. We've got more laundry out there, and we've got another penalty.
Yeah. Lots of laundry late in the game. It's all but over. The Indians are going to advance to the quarterfinals. And a shout out to our sideline crew out there, crewman, getting it done for us tonight in the pouring rain.
Johnson City at the Warrensburg 37. 45 seconds left. 24-6, Johnson City leading Warrensburg. They'll move on next week to play at home again against Pana. Johnson City will take a knee. They might have to just do it one more time, and then that'll be it. Lined up in the victory formation. And they'll take one more knee, and that should do it, Aaron. 24-6 is the final. Johnson City moves on to the next round of the IHSA Class 2A postseason.
So with that, we'll have the Deaconess Illinois postgame show coming your way right after the break. Johnson City punching their tickets to the quarterfinals, and we'll have a recap of Benton and Nashville. That's all coming up here on the WFCN Game of the Week and the Deaconess Illinois postgame show.
Presented by Swinford Media Group. Get ready for a WFCN Game of the Week. Powered by our incredible sponsors. Watermark Auto Group. John A. Logan College. Black Diamond Harley Davidson. Moreland Bishop McDonald's. Deaconess Illinois Medical Center. Chick-fil-A, coming soon to Marion. Anderson's Furniture and Mattress. The Illinois Army National Guard. Legence Bank. Kemper's CPA Group. The City of Heron. The City of Cesar. Banterra Bank. Fellowship of Christian Athletes. The Bank of Heron. State Farm Kenya Garner. SIU Credit Union. Southern Trust Bank. The Print Shop at Pieces of Learning. First Southern Bank. Anderson Boys Trash Service. State Bank of Whittington. Urology Institute.
Want to know one of the best ways to show your Saluki pride? I'm Luke Martin, voice of the SIU Salukis and proud owner of a Banterra Saluki Visa debit card. Being able to use a Saluki branded debit card with no fees at more than 55,000 ATMs and special Saluki offers is a perk. Knowing that my transactions go towards supporting SIU is a win. Plus, Banterra is the bank that you want as a partner. Stop by a Banterra branch for details. Banterra is a proud supporter of regional athletics. Member FDIC.
Hi, I'm Tyler Young with the Print Shop here in Marion. We're on the square. We just got done doing some perforated vinyl here at Swinford Publications. So this is the vinyl that you can see out, but people can't see in, and it gives a nice little look and feel to a number of different kinds of businesses. So come see us at the Print Shop. We're at 1112 North Carbon, next to AutoZone behind Hardee's.
All right, we welcome you back to Johnston City. This is the Deaconess Illinois post-game show. I'm Aaron Price, and the Johnston City Indians just knocked off a big win tonight over Warrensburg here at home, 24-6. And Garrett, man, this was a very good game in all aspects. We expected it, I guess, in the first quarter, Warrensburg to maybe be able to get on the board sooner than they did, but other than that, Johnston City playing through the rain and playing through Warrensburg to get the win and secure their spot in the IHSA quarterfinals.
It was a nice showing. Johnston City on both sides of the football. They weren't overly powerful on offense. Just the 3 scores, but man, when your defense is playing really good, that's all it takes. And it's 24-0, and that last one came with just a little under a minute left. But great showing both sides of the football for Johnston City.
All right, with that, let's go ahead and take a look at your Kemper CPA by the numbers. Garrett, we'll go ahead and start in the first quarter.
That pass is
The Johnston City first quarter. there by Cosby. Here's the one target to get in. Good. 9-2 in the second. Then Johnson pick and catch inside the 10, set up shot. Put a 7-yard score. Gets a finish again.
16 tied.
A lot of good looks for Warrensburg, but they put it together. Off the touchdown for Warrensburg from 9 yards out to 244 mark of the fourth. Warrensburg had a tremendous touchdown there. To put them on the board 24-6. That's where we finished in tonight's game.
And Garrett, I want to play that last touchdown by Warrensburg. It was their only one, but just we got to take that. What a catch there.
Water incomplete because it looked like he did regain possession and rightfully was called a touchdown.
Yeah. All right, so that is your Kemper CPA group by the numbers. Of all that going on, though, Garrett, there's one moment that we call the Black Diamond Harley-Davidson Thrillville Thrillbillies thrilling moment of the game. What was that moment tonight, Garrett?
I'm going to go with a play that you might not think, but it's a play that I thought was a big momentum play. And, Warrensburg was just pounding the football, moving down the field pretty easily there on that first drive. And Johnston City got all the momentum on the Jace Weaver interception. Really nice play from him. So that's where I'm going with my play, the Thrillville thrilling moment of the game. But it just changed the tempo. You sort of had a flip there in momentum. It looked like Warrensburg was going to score right away.
Right.
And Jace Weaver and company on defense said, not so fast.
Yeah. Want to give out a player of the game as well. Any thoughts on that for Johnston City?
Yeah, I'll go with a guy that might not have as good of offensive stats and the pretty stats like a lot of quarterbacks around, but I'm going to go with Koenig for Johnston City. He's such a high value in terms of how they run that offense, and you take into account with the weather tonight, having to worry about all those handoffs, and then on top of that, he got into the end zone twice. So I'll go with Koenig from Johnston City. Had a great ball game, and I'd give him player of the game.
Let's also real quick talk about going into next week. Johnston City will host Pana here at home. So I guess going into next week, obviously the Indians tend to do well in front of a home crowd. So going into next week, I guess if you're the Indians, what are some things you'll be watching for ahead of next week's game?
This was a great blueprint for what you need to try to do next week. You got to play good both sides of the ball this time of year. If you're going to win in the postseason, got to play good offensively. You got to be efficient. Got to take care of the football. Then on the defensive side, you can allow some plays to happen. Just don't let big back-breaking plays happen. Johnston City didn't allow that. They didn't give up any points when the game mattered. That last one there with a minute left and after a couple of big penalties. But great blueprint tonight on what they should try to do next week.
Recapping lastly some other local games we had going on tonight. As we've mentioned, Johnston City Indians, they are advancing to the IHSA quarterfinals. Your final in that game was 24, Johnston City, Warrensburg 6. The Benton Rangers are also advancing. Man, they had a big game tonight at home, and that was against the number 2 seed, 41-0. The Rangers won tonight, and they are advancing to the IHSA quarterfinals. Murfreesboro Red Devils were eliminated in the IHSA playoffs. They fell to Breeze Central 34-7. And the Cesarville Red Devils were also eliminated today. They fell 14-6 earlier this afternoon. And also we don't have a graphic up, but Nashville Hornets moving on to the IHSA quarterfinals as well. And if they win next week and Benton does as well, they could potentially host each other, or play each other rather, in the IHSA semifinals. So that is a recap of all of your local games, and we thank you for joining us here on the WFCN Game of the Week. For Garrett Smith, Drew Smith on the sidelines, and Quincy King in the background, I'm Aaron Price. Thank you very much for joining us here on the WFCN Game of the Week. We'll see you here next